So hello guys, how are you doing?
Hi, good.
Pretty good, actually.
Thanks.
Not bad.
It's been quite a busy summer for you.
Yes, yeah, it's been a festival summer season for Placebo.
We saw you actually in Isle of Wight. It was pretty good.
Yeah, beautiful festival.
You have an anniversary album coming out this fall, Placebo, the
Yes.
first one. Why are you putting out like a special version?
Because it was the record company's idea. It's 10 years since the first one, and they make a big deal out of number 10. And we kind of forgot about the album a long time ago. I mean, we're putting it out again, and we're filling it up with lots of extras, lots of live performances that we did back in the day, and some B-sides and sleeve notes, and trying to make it as worthwhile to buy as possible. And for the people who didn't buy the first time when it came out, then if you want to buy the first one, it's probably a good time.
Because of that, I of course have to ask something about your long career. Has there been like a big highlight that that is special for all of you guys?
Well, I think the fact of still being here and having put out an album that we think is the best that we've done is probably the biggest achievement and the thing that gives us the most pleasure, I think.
Especially British media has been kind of weird about you guys. It seemed that they kind of not overlooked, but treated you really weird if I compare it to the rest of Europe. Why was that?
Well, don't really want to give the press any more press than they deserve, really. It's just a special mentality that the British have, and it's such a fast turnover of bands that you kind of become old news very quickly. And we don't really give a shit about that, to be honest with you. We from a very early stage we left England, and we find that the world can be a very nice place, and there's a lot of people out there who want to see us, and a lot of people that we want to play to. So it means less and less to us what some frustrated musician behind a computer in London thinks. It's one person's opinions, and as we all know, that just like assholes, we have opinions too.
There isn't anything you regret of saying or doing?
No. I mean, anyways, the past is the past, and you can't change anything.
Okay, that's a good
Unless
way.
you're Stalin, or Hitler. We write the history books, but that's not really what we're here to do.
What about the way of looking at music?
We're still writing. We still want to write together, and we still feel there's music left to be written. And as long as we feel that we have another good album in us, then we'll keep going.
So there's still magic?
Yes, there is. And I think this tour has been very special. It's been the easiest album to bring on the road, and I think we're tighter and playing better than ever before, So that's kind of what's keeping us alive at the moment.
So is it the same thing that, because you've sold like millions and millions of albums, do you still get kicks out of like playing to people?
Absolutely.
What's your favorite place to play?
And to be honest with you, like 2 albums in, the countries that used to be more passive and now become quite, active, I mean, it feels like we've worked the world quite well, and we've built up a strong fan base around the world. So there's familiar faces, and there's good vibes, where we've had a connection with the people.
You get young fans, young audience, all the time you get new fans, and you still seem to connect with, a lot of young people. Is that the same reason, or?
Well, I think that there's a big part of us that refuses to grow up. And there's something about when you plug in the guitar, and you turn it up, there's a very youthful energy in that. And I think we're very grateful for the fact that we're still having a connection with youth culture. And I think it's still, there is elements to being in a band and playing rock music that, it's kind of youthful, in its energy and its and this kind of fuck you approach to the rest of the world and authoritative figures and you look back in the history and a lot of it's been about attitude, a lot of it's been about doing your own thing and rebelling against the aspects of life and relationships you have around you that you don't agree with, and there's still a bit of that in us.
Then I have to ask something about Mets, even though it came out a while ago, but it's my favorite Placebo album. It's much more organic, and how come you chose to make it that way. You know,
It was his idea over there, the guy you just waved to.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's my friend.
Oh, fuck you too.
It's, I mean, when you're exploring music and trying to put stuff down, you know, you push certain things in certain directions, and the electronic thing with us was, I think, was just pushed as far as it could go, you know. So it's just, I think it's good to sort of stop at that sort of that dead end and then go somewhere else with it. And the fact, because of the amount of touring we've done and the amount of albums we've done now, it's sort of much better live band, so it seemed more sense to just sort of get in the studio and do it as we do it. So it's in the essence of the first album. Just it's not going to be the first album, but just that kind of back to basics thing. It's the same spirit, but obviously it's a much better band now. So I think, you know, what you hear is just, you know, just a much more sort of together band, less complicated, pushing the songs up to the forefront of the sound rather than overlaying it and losing a lot of elements, really.
Well, have you changed the method of working during the years?
It's been a very open process since the start. It's a continuous process, creative process, and sometimes it comes from us individually, and sometimes it's in sound checks, sometimes it's in the studio. There's always something on the go, and it's continued that way. You know, we never like to limit ourselves to one way of working or to one formula, which makes it exciting and sometimes very frustrating, but in the end, more rewarding.
There are 20 years to go. The punch drunk and the blow. The worst of starts, the mercy part, the phone.
So what's the strength of Placebo?
We're trying to become the biggest band in the world.
Okay. And what are you willing to do for that?
Try me.
Okay. So then, pros and cons of being in this band.
It's a little bit difficult doing this. I mean, playing a lot of festivals, and sometimes it becomes you're playing the same music, same songs that you've written for over a period of time, and sometimes you feel like you want a better outlet for your creativity. You know, we used to stay away from the studio for about 2 years, and sometimes I just wish that maybe sometimes I had a bit more time to be more creative. But you know, it's, you know, in order for us to fulfill our goals and our dreams, and in order to bring this to as many people as possible, we take it on the road for a long time. And like Steve said, that's probably the hardest thing, is just to be away from family.
When will you come to Finland?
Good question. We have a lot of fans over there, and we're very aware of that. And it's been a long time since the last time we were there. We're kind of booked up until Christmas, but we're going to be touring for at least another year. So hopefully before the end of the Med's tour.
All right then. Thanks guys. It was nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank you.